Hey there friends, welcome back to episode 18 of my 500 threat series around Cassandra. I'm Icon and today, let's see, we have to bury poor old Gerbil, but before we can do that we have to strip away that recon armor. We won't be burying you with that, dear friend. And apart from that, Trigger is still quite triggered and smashing things, but apart from that, let's see. Malnutrition, well, fire is there, okay. But overall, things could be worse, I'd say. We still have a few things we could eat in the freezer. As soon as there's a door in there again, it's gonna be a freezer again. And there are 2 people which we will be able to recruit. So... but I'd say I'll only try my luck with Rubber Braga. The other guy we're just gonna release. There we go. Okay, now that's been sent. So, Badger, what up with you? Dying in 2 hours. Rip. Okay, we have to repair the holes in the walls and take care about the sanity of our people. And then think about reinforcing myself. So, here we go. Sadako will be busy with constructing as soon as she's back up on her feet. Why she's still sleeping, I don't know. Is she on high bed rest priority? Not really. Strange. Well. Oh, Sadako is not Sapphire. Oops. Okay. Let's strip that poor guy, and we need some more trees to work with. Okay, Galga and Trigger are people who will be busy with that. So I've avoided to look at it, but now I want to look at it. So defenses are not really there. I've already got a lot of cut jobs, so I don't need to assign more of them. Okay, good, but at least the power armor is safe, you know? It could be worse. But we really need to cut down some trees and seal off the door again as soon as possible. So let's send Galga towards there, because I really feel like, yeah, it's important to have food again, but it's also important to have doors again. So, here we go. That's gonna resolve the worst issues. There we go. So, the coolers are configured correctly. And now we should be able to get that freezer on low temperatures again. Loyal turkeys. Well, I'll keep that in mind, but not to actually do it, but rather to be able to get 4 cheap turkeys to slaughter them. I mean, after all, it is an option. Okay, we need more resources, like for real, as soon as possible. Big issue here. Also, was Gerbil my cook? Not only, but mostly. So we're going to put the other people on partial cooking duty as well. And Sapphire, please get useful. There's still 4 more. How about cooking something, dude? How about that? are we shooting at? If I only knew. Okay, so my jobs out there with the trees are not being done. That's mostly because I have grow priority over plant cutting priority. So Sadako has too many talents. I'd say I'll put Trigger onto the wood cutting duty now. That should work. Why does she want to take rice into her inventory? I don't care, honestly. We're going to let Sadako cut down a few trees. There we go. But overall, it could be worse. Now, traps. That's gonna eat a lot of wood, but at the same time, it's gonna keep us quite safe. Whatever. It's gonna keep us quite safe. So, with this dirty little trick, the enemies will trigger every single trap in that path, because they will never voluntarily travel over barricades, so they will prefer the pathing over the trap. Don't ask me why. I'm supposing they're not seeing it. Oh, and Sapphire and Golga are beating each other up. Why? Slandered Sapphire's jawline. You don't talk bad about her jawline there, man. I mean, by the way... Okay, whatever. Whatever. It's training my doctors, I suppose. I'm quite happy that we're able to start recruiting Rubabrega here, because that means there's still hope, you know. Also, recon armor. Who's gonna take that? Sapphire is wearing some neat and nice hyperweave. Synthread and flak vest on Trigger. Marine armor on Golga. I'd say Sadako is the proper fit for the recon armor. Oh, we even got mollies. Nice. Wasn't aware of that. Okay, of course that social fight was absolutely not useful at all for us, but I'm used to these things by now. So there's a lot of hunting jobs which I don't want to have right now. We're going to hunt the alpacas because they are really easy to take down and they yield quite a nice reward. Okay. So we're out of wood, just like I thought. The amount of wood necessary for my plans is pretty steep, so I'm not sure I'll be able to sustain that. Mech hive. Am I reading that correctly? Mech hive. My god. Leave me alone, guys. So let's just hope they're not sending a centipede after me. Nah, it's just two scythers. That's horrible enough, but I hope we're going to be able to take down two scythers. So, first up, animals. Animals to my side. I just hope that my animals survive long enough to give us enough time to take the beasties down. Because honestly, that's my biggest fear, to lose somebody now, because I have to physically tank yet another fight way too early. So, but at least two hits were already on that scyther. So I think I'm seeing a good chance here. So, all right, good stuff. Yeah, Golga doesn't even need to go in. I keep Golga away from that fight mainly because her HP are that low already. I don't want to risk that. You see how much longer we need to take that guy down who hasn't been softened up by traps? It's really... That's why I put down those traps. They are helping so much. Okay, but we have survived yet another attack. Where's my... That husky is dying in 12 hours. So, doctoring is only on trigger, but we can't allow that. So, trigger is a medical 3 person. And the Labrador is actually the one who's horribly injured. So, let's see if Golga is able to save the dog. I highly doubt it, but, you know, still want to try. Every single of these animals is so valuable. So I don't want to risk their lives if I'm able, or throw their lives away if I'm able to take yet another shot. It looks like they are living yet another day. Good stuff. Alright. And Trigger brings back home a whole alpaca. That's what we need right now, you know. So, Sadako, you are actually... Let's see. I'll just send her to do other things. If she starts... Or wait. No, she shall repair things. And then she's going to be off to the other important things anyways, so I don't need to worry about that too much. What I'm still worried about is the fact that we're still sleeping in wooden rooms, and that really makes me a little bit nervous. Okay. Why is nobody re-sowing the field, by the way? Okay. Nobody really knows that. Let's send Trigger butchering after that. We're constantly very low on food. That's troubling me a little bit. But that's mostly due to the constant combat pressure on the colony. Like, that assault from the mechanoids did cost me several hours of this day. Let alone the patching up of the dogs, you know. And that's all valuable time you lose to do your jobs, your other work. So now I'm going to put Sadako into a night shift, because we really need that field to be done. And she is one of my strongest plant workers, so that's completely okay for me. What would not be okay would be yet another day where we're not replanting that rice and suffer some shortage, because that stuff just goes away like nothing. The animals we're holding here have quite the high consumption, so it's also time to put them into zones. I just realized I got no animal zone yet. Oh my god. Well, I think I might have had a animal zone in the other base, but, you know. So, let's keep the animals outside of this, outside of that. It's a very simple thing, inverting the zone and then cutting out the areas where I don't want the animals at. I just want the animals to take care of themselves, you know. There's so much going on outside here which they can't eat. Oh, I forgot to exclude the rice field, very important. They really like to gobble on your own crops, so here we go. Okay. So, we could build ourselves some turrets here. Or? No, I don't have that tech yet. Okay, I thought these guys had that tech already. They don't have that tech, so let's acquire that tech. Tech. There we go. Meanwhile, trigger cooking fine meals. Aw, the Imperium of Eternity gifted me a bearskin cowboy hat. Thanks, guys. How thoughtful. That feels so comforting. Alright, so Galga is finally on the job. Okay. We are 2 days ahead in the clear with food. Well, let's see, maybe it's a little bit longer than that. There's one more alpaca to be taken down. I mean, there's plenty of food on the map. That's truly no issue here. Oh, look at that. We're actually restocking our traps here big time. This gives me a strange sense of security. And a false sense of security as well, but that's another story. So, since I'm that far away from constructing a machinery table, I'd say we're going to disassemble the mechs on the ground. This yields less rewards, if I'm not wrong. Am I wrong? I have no clue, to be honest. I would assume it would yield less rewards. But at the same time, you know, I'll rather do it now and take that steel and components and just don't think about the rest. Okay, low food is still a thing. We could just harvest a few more things. I'm pretty sure that now my consumption of food will go a little bit lower. Let's see. They should find plenty of food outside here, but I'm not sure. Let's just see if that retriever is able to refill his nutrition bar on his own. But they should. Hey, my deer are reproducing. So, let's take down that guinea pig. It's right in front of our door. Let's see. And the dog is wandering. Well, oh no, don't tell me they need something out of my livestocks. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Now that retriever officially starts to starve. And is obviously not able to do anything than work. Oh man, too bad. So looks like the dogs are not able to sustain themselves out in the wilds. Or that retriever is just stupid. I don't know. I mean, vegetables, raw meat, corpses, seed, animal products, meals, processed foods. I mean, there's no live plants there, so I guess I really need to take care of that. Speaking about taking care of things, I have taken care of a complete security array, and we are back on track with our research work. Although, I guess we won't be doing that too often. So, let's see. I'm going to manually hunt a little bit more today, because we are just that much in need of food, you know. Even if it's just for feeding the dogs. Okay. I'm just wondering now which of them I should pick, but obviously everybody of them could use the training, so... Rainy days are perfect weather to take down boom rats. Of course also boomalopes, but you know, you're not that lucky every day to have a boomalope right around the corner. At some days you need to take care of the boom rats. Oh, you have to be happy with boom rats now, I got the proper word. That tortoise is to blame. It's distracting me. Now, there's Galga and Sadako out there. Is there anything? Yeah, let's get Sadako there. And deers and does are always good. Lots of food, low risk. Just a tad bit tanky. At least if you're firing it with a revolver at those poor things. I always feel like this is one of the most wicked ways of acquiring food for your colony. Running after some wild poor animal and shooting it and keep firing dozens and dozens of bullets out of your revolver at it and it's just not dying. This is so unrealistic if you would consider how a real animal would behave. They certainly wouldn't be here anymore and wandering around like, oh well, shoot me. It's not exactly how they work. Okay, finally. Situations like these always make me feel like a bad person. Okay, let's harvest the heal roots in the vicinity here as well, because I feel like we might be needing them. Okay. There's still plenty of stone chunks to be cut, but I have decided not to do that because food is more important for me right now. So, Robabrega is slowly being converted into one of us. That's really good. And I'm giving this poor guy a lamp into his room, you know, to get some standards going. I'm also friendly enough to remove the blood splotches now that they are lit by a lamp. We are civilized refugees after all, and we're fleeing from Cassandra and her cruelty. Okay, I got a lot of wood stockpiled right now. That's really good. That's something we can work with. So, some comfy chairs, and I'd say it's really now time to think about researching again. But before I'm really going there, I think I need to refill my food stockpiles a tad bit more. At least the mood is no longer an absolute problem. The only thing I'm a little bit annoyed about is the fact that we're still having issues with feeding the dogs. Oh, thrombos. Well, sadly we're not that strong. Okay. Let's clean the kitchen while we're at it. And, I don't know. Really consider to start with the stone cutting today. Yeah. Let's send Sadako for that. Oh, no, I didn't want you to send for that. I misclicked there. Okay, we have only food for one more day, so let's change that as well. I'd say Sapphire is a good pick if she's only sweeping dust. Donkeys. Donkeys do yield quite some meals. Let's take down the squirrel while we're at it. It's not really a big meal here, by all means, but shooting them both, because I want to hunt them both, and also, if they would go on a pack revenge, you would also have better chances of survival due to the fact that they are softened up and easier to kite. Alright, 3 animals, 1 hole, not bad. Oh no, that's even 4. Oh, she's not assigned to hunting. Let's change that. I want at least a grade 4 priority there to make sure they are able to haul these things back home. Alrighty, there we go. So, a handful of stones, that's a good start. Sandstone blocks, we seem to have a lot of them, and Trigger and Galga are going to marry. Wow. Brave. So let's see. Oof, 180, 68. Alright, let's send Sadako away from that job. And be happy for the moment. I mean, I really feel good about the situation. The only issue we will be facing sooner or later will be the fact that there will be lots and lots of enemies just spawning and killing us. So I can't be slowing down. Trigger. I'm going to tune him down from that job, and I want him to be back on the research bench. The legendary research 3 guy going back to work. But every research point counts, and basically the research points are the resources I take from these maps, because they are... I have to flee sooner or later. The whole 500 threat mode is, I think, only playable in the early game if you keep relocating to reset the threat to some point, because if it would be just staying, well, maybe I'll try that in another video series to just stay and not relocate under any circumstances, but that would be actually the hardest way to play 500 threat as far as I know. If you're not allowed to relocate to another tile, I would be mean. Don't say it's impossible, but, you know, it's sure gonna be not that easy. Okay, now... But also, I think there are harder challenges in the game, if you would really want to just make the game harder. There are lots of mods to make your life miserable. So, let's take down some small game. It's more about teaching my people to shoot. Let's harvest some more heal roots. It's always good to have a certain stockpile of those. You never know when you have a ton of wounds to patch up. And while heal root is a little bit unreliable when it comes down to terminal illnesses, heal root is just awesome if you have a decent healer to patch up bleeding wounds in like 80% of the cases. And there we go. One day Sadako will be a good marksman. But gotta say, for a trigger-happy person, a revolver ain't really a good weapon. You would prefer a somewhat automatic weapon, but I don't want to go bunny hunting with an LMG. No. Don't take the machine gun out for a bunny hunt. I don't like that idea. But one day I will have better guns. But until then, let's try the turkey. It's easier to hit Sadako. Alright. I've got a lot of passionless shooters. Trigger is the only shooter with passion in my colony, and well, at least Galga has a good department on the melee. But overall, yeah, well, that's gonna be Robert Brega's job later down the road. He's pretty good in both parts. Also a good artist. Maybe we can put that to use as well. But that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, dear friends. It has been my pleasure, and I hope you're coming back for more. And yeah, we will continue next episode, and I'll try to focus a little bit more on the research and get forward with that department, because like I mentioned with the last episode, I will try to win this game with 500 thread. I have no clue how I'm supposed to win the 15-day wind-up for the spaceship, but we will have to get there first, because we're so far away from that. Anyways, drop me comments down below, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe. I would be deeply delighted if you would do so. I forgot to build a monument for these guys. Whatever. That's what I get if I don't continue my series in time. Okay, catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.